Good morning, everyone. A lot of you are still asking for this little aquamarine wrap, so I'm just going to do it real quick for you this morning. I have a little 6mm round aquamarine. You can use any stone. It's cabochon with the flat back. Sorry about my hands. I've been working all morning already. The wire's dirty. So I've got 20 gauge round soft copper wire. I have 16 inches of it, and I've just straightened it out with my fingers. I'm going to take my flat nose. You can use chain links and get to the middle. I want to make a little seat. This is the Midway station capture for my tiny cabochons. So it's a mid-wire cabochon capture. So right here, hold your fingers, turn the plier and make a little S shape, just like that. You want this to fit the bottom of your stone. So you can eyeball it. When you get the S shape, go ahead and just make a circle around it. So we're making like a little chair, little seat for the cabochon. You want to make sure that the S part is nice and flat where it's going to sit. But then we want to raise the arms slightly, just like that, so that we can spiral around the cab. Go ahead and set your stone in there. It should fit pretty well, right on that little S curve. This arm's a little far out. It's okay. Just hold it center. This is 20 gauge wire, so it's real easy to work. It's just a little bit fiddly until you get it in there. So I got one little turn around the edge of the cab there, and I'm going to get this wire a little bit closer, and I'm going to go ahead and keep spiraling up. You'll just bring one wire around to meet the other wire, and then you'll just jump to the other wire. Keep coiling around your cab. You're moving slightly inward and up. You have to catch the upper shoulders of this cab for it to stay in here. And this little back and forth motion that I'm doing kind of helps you put some tension and spring in the wire. When you end them, the wires should be opposite each other, and that should be a pretty nice secure capture for you. So next I like to turn these down, so make sure your arms are opposite each other. You're going to hold the top wires very steady, because that's the coil, that's the last coil. Grip about 1 millimeter out and turn 90 degrees down, nice and sharp and right next to the cup. Turn this way, same thing, put your finger up there, your thumb, hold that upper coil, grip about 1 millimeter out, not too far. Nice and steady and confident 90-degree turn straight down. Okay, so just like that, you made like a little eyeball. Okay, turn to the back. There's a 90-degree and a 90-degree bend. So we're going to take these two wires straight down to horizontal across the bottom center of the cup. We'll bring them to the insides of these 90-degree bends. And you want to just leave a whisper of space, because we're going to wrap them together inside the bend. So now this one, real easy, inside the bend. Okay, that should be super secure. And now we'll just wrap this up and make the rest of our pendant. I'm going to get about 6 inches of 26 gauge, I'm sorry, this is 28 gauge, round wire. Normally, I might not use a short length and then cut another length. I might have just started with 3 feet here so that I could have just continued, but for the sake of, teaching you guys and keeping it clean for newbies, I'll just keep it simple. So 6 inches. I'm going to center into the bottom of my cup, hold on to one side, make a few wraps. Let's make a few wraps here. I might just make 5. This is small wire. We're just cinching these 2 up. You're not passing through the bottom of the cup. You're just wrapping these 2. .20 gauge wire is pretty soft, so you don't have to pull so hard here. Okay, we just want to cinch those 2 wires. Normally I'd leave these 2 on, use them and continue to coil, but for the sake of this video, so that we can see, just going to snip them off. So I'm going to snip them and just tuck them under. So don't cut anything else. Just snip with a millimeter or so. Turn it, the tip down, get on top of it, and tap it under. Same here. Take a snip, leave a couple millimeter, turn the end down, get on top of it, tuck it under, just like that. Okay, now we got something to work with. I'm going to get my fine plier out now. Okay, alright you guys, so this little bit should be in the approximate center of your wire. It's okay if it's a little bit off. I gave you a little more wire than you needed. And so down here, right at the base of the cup, probably about a millimeter out, not too far. Hold steady. Turn the wire straight up onto itself, 90 degree, right over the top of the cup. Just like that. You can hold it right here. Turn it off to the side of the cup. Press it down so it's about midway. Don't get your coils. Just like that. You don't have to crush it. Just tap it about to the middle. You hold it right there. Come back around nice and tight. Across the post. So cute. From back here, take a fine plier and pinch, do a little jiggle on it, and bring them to vertical, nice and side by side, just like that. So cute. Now see, what I talked about was leaving, had I started with 3 feet of 26 gauge or 28 gauge, I could have had my long bits here and just kept, wrapping up. But I cut them off, so I'll just add new wire. I could have also used them when we come down the sides, is actually what I think I did. For here, you can use 22 half round, you can use 26 or 28 gauge round for the bale, whichever you prefer. I'm going to get 16 inches. Well, this is kind of little. Let's just go 13 inches of 22 half round. 13 inches. If you feel like you want a longer bale, you can give yourself a little more. I'm just going to stretch it out. I think by habit I cut 16 anyway. I did. So 13 to 16 inches of half round. So just run with your fingers. Keep the flat side of the half round down here and to the inside of the curve. Just hook your 2 wires up here. Just hold everything pretty steady. Go overhand and underhand. Flat side stays to the frame wires. Don't twist your wraps. Make them tight enough so there's no bubbles. but not so tight that we can't slide these, because we need to slide them way down here. So we'll make 3, maybe 4, and then just get them down here to the neck, okay? Just like that. And then continue to wrap with this long bit. I like my bale about 1/2 inch, so we're going to wrap about 1 inch up here, okay? This is a tiny pendant, so the opening's only about 2 millimeter right through there, so we don't need to go too far, but you can wrap as much or as little as you want. And the 2 frame wires might want to do this because they're round. Just keep them under control. Bossy your wraps. After about 4 or 5, and after you've landed down here at the neck, go ahead and tap them down and neat. That'll help keep your 2 wires over here from flip-flopping. I'm holding them right here so that I can wrap, and I'm just going overhand and underhand so you can see. Real simple. Go ahead and tap. This wire is really dirty. I'm sorry about my hands. Keep your coils nice and side by side. Don't make them go too far out from each other as you wrap. And holding, close here helps you. Tap your bubbles out. Pull them side by side if you need them. If you need to. I'm gonna make a few more. I'm gonna take a quick measure. Okay. I'm at a solid inch right here, so I might go 3 more wraps. Okay. Tap everything down. So I probably gave you a lot more wire than you needed here, but that's okay. You can trim it and leave yourself about 2 inches. Just be a little easier for you to work with. Make sure these 2 wires are looking at you, straight on. They're round, so they might twist a little bit. You can just get them under control here. I'll leave that fragment because we need it. So let's get rid of the leading fragment. Just get it nice and neat and over here to the side that has this curved wire we just did. You can get a fine plier and just wrap a couple of times. Whoop. Don't stab your gemstone. You can wrap a couple of times right in here. Just cut it off right there and end it in there, where it can't be felt. My 2 wires here. See the turn in them? That happens. emboss, put them back to flat. Okay, that looks cute. So cute. Make sure everything's level. And now in the middle of this banded wire, we're going to bend a curve to the front. I just do it with my fingers because this is little. We want the end of it to come right down here to the neck. Okay? So just work patiently. Bring the wire straight down, front and center. And then just work your plier if you need to. Gently roll it a little bit. If you need to, don't separate your coils up here so there's hardly any pressure. I'm just using it to kind of roll. Okay, so when you get close, hold right here. You should be centered to the stone. And this should be nice and flat. Not flat, but laying right over your stone. Let's separate these two. One to the left, one to the right. Make sure you clear the stone. And then press down. Stay centered to your bale. It's a little wire, so it's going to be a little squirrely. Just get it. See, I'm a little bit squirrely. Just straighten it out. Make it pretty. So cute. I'm still probably a little bit. Just make them look at you. Make your profile nice. Level the wires with the cup. Okay? So I'm right down in kind of the center of the sides here. And my wires let me, they're nice and even. Okay? So from the right hand side then, I'm sorry. While we're up here, after you get this, let's take the half round that's already living there. Make a couple of laps around this whole thing, the whole neck there. Make them neat. And then come back here to this bar and tie it off. Just right there. You should have a tiny little space. If you can't get through there, tie it off to the side arm right here where you tied the first one off. There should be a tiny little space. Maybe I fit. Oh, there it is. Ooh. If you need to move this guy, move him. There's a tiny little space there that you can pass into that bar. Make sure there's no bubble on that last coil. It's that back bar I'm talking about right there. And you might have to dance around this one. Just get it once or twice, whatever's comfortable, and then snip it and dive the end right in there. Don't cut any main wires. Okay, turn that little tip in. Tap it. No sudden moves. Ooh, now your bale should be tied on. Level these two side wires back out. Make them kind of even. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so now we're all tied off here. Let's do design. You could technically be done right here, like everything's tied on. You could do something very small with these two and call it a day. But if you want to do more here, so we got nice slopes, right? Just come around your stone. Just use the side of the cup. Pass in front of that first one. Just like that. Just cross over till you pass the center. Okay? Hopefully you can see that okay. Just along there. And then take this one, do the same. Stay real close to the cup. Cross over the top. Just frame your stone. Keep them close since you want to do since you want to do the little aquamarine. Make sure you got a nice profile. You're not listing forward or back, okay? And my crisscross is bottom center. All right, so now with the lower wire, take it right there, right at its edge where they crisscross. It's about 1 millimeter in my plier head that I'm giving it. Turn it and back bend it straight over itself, just like that. Make sure the bend is, standing up, the curve. And just give it a slight squeeze. Don't crush it because we still got to move this one. So just like that. And then take this one. Same thing right here, about 1 millimeter. We'll go this way so you can see. Right there, right off the turn. Stay centered to the bottom. Just turn it straight up and hairpin it over. Real tight to the cup. I mean, not real tight, but along the side. Okay, use your hands. This upper wire should be level, approximately with the top of the cup. Things should be even. You can give slight, gentle squeezes right here. This tiny wire won't take much if you need to get any bubbles out. Now let's add a little bit of elegance here. Take these 2 wires at their turns and pinch together. Okay? Turn this wire left. Turn this one out to the right. Just make some nice little curves down here and keep it close to your stone. If you want to turn out this top one a little bit, make a cutie. Grip it right there and just turn. Cute little thing into it. Cute little point. You can do this on your mat also. I'm up here in the air so you can see it. Just gonna turn a little bit more. I like them. Okay, just work yours until you like it. Don't put too many marks here in your wires. And just give it a little squeeze. Okay, you want there to be enough room for you to be able to weave in between these. So there is a whisper of space. I probably could have given it a little bit more even. Okay, maybe you're watching this ahead. Maybe take these sides and just give yourself a little bit more than I did. All right, so now I'm gonna make one more pass to the top of the cup. I'll take the right hand side and go to the back. For some designs you can flare the shoulder out, right? And for some designs you can just keep it close. But remember, if you want to coil, you got to get this wire and that frame wire together, the 2. Okay? So leave yourself a whisper of a space. And then we're flush with the back here. And now with this side too, I'm just gonna, and remember that this, little cup has a little room to move forward and backwards so you can belly out the stone a little bit. Okay? Hold right here at the bottom tip and do the same thing. Pass and come to the back. Just try to make them even. Try to make them close. So cute. I'm going to flare this one out just a little bit because we want to coil. Okay, just like that. So we'll coil on those 2 wires and those 2 curved wires there. While we're up here, you can do whatever you want for design. I'm just going to whip it to the front and do some simple curves. Hold the curves to the left here. Make a 90 straight across the neck. Get it hooked. Do it a little more. Just made it a little tighter. So see those 2? They got to weave together. And then these 2 over here got to weave together. They don't have to. Not weave together, but I mean coil. Or you can weave. Okay, so right here with this one, I'm going to hold it. take a swing up in front. Go all the way around. Just make a little something, something. Something cute. All the way around. Stay in front of the bale. Okay, just like that. That's why I like a longer bale, so we can have a little design room. So see, you should have plenty too much wire. So probably you could do one up to 8mm with the same result. Okay, I'll just cut it right here. It's about 5mm, just enough to give myself a little design, and I'm going to tighten up this curl, this loop. My round nose plier, I'm just going to tighten up the turn, make it a little smaller. It's okay, it's a little bit, it's going to move a little bit because we're not tied in, we're just hooked around the neck, and we're only hooked a half, right? It's a little neck, so I don't want to go 2 times. It's too thick. So with this now, I'm going to make it a little bit shorter, and I'm going to curl it back in the opposite direction. It's tight. Plan to munchie up the end and sacrifice it. Turn and make the tiniest loop. You can just drop it right in the center. And it might want to, you know, move out a little bit. That's okay. Just make it, do it. Then I'm going to snip out the very tip. Just open my loop and clean that out. I can use these to just tap it closed. Use a little wider plier to tap it against the bale. Okay? You can squeeze here at the neck a little bit if you need to. Just get your plier all on the wire. But you know, don't nick it. Just gentle. So cute. Okay, and this side is another one for you to do whatever you want with. It's a little bitty thing, so I'm probably just going to swing it around the neck. Remember your curves so that you can coil. I'm going to come around the bottom of my previous design, tie it all on there together. And if I want a little bit more to the back, or to the top, I can, you know, swing this way and crawl up. I don't, because it's tiny. So I'm just going to come here to the back. If you feel like you want, you know, more wire, you can come down again. Otherwise, end it back here into something cute. You know, a little spiral. You got a little tiny place there to lock it in. If you want to or need to, I kind of like to do this. Make it nice and cute. It's tiny wire, but it's thick enough to just give a tiny press. A little bit of a squeeze right there. A little locking bend right here. You can even do a curl in the front if you want, but I'm not gonna because there's no room. Right there. Take the tip of it, just do a little turn in. Squeeze nice and neat right there. Okay, so cute. Just check everything. You know, if you need to adjust any coils, be real careful about doing it. Just want to bring my cup a little bit forward. It's a tight little pendant. Squeeze right there and center my loop. Give this a little tap, small taps. And now down here, if you need to tap anything, you can tap a thing or two down here. Don't overwork that because we're going to coil. I might, the space on my left here, to my right here is pretty tight. I can't see air pocket there between the second frame wire and the outside one. Here I can see enough pocket space. By that I'm talking about this space in here, because we gotta, don't do this to yours, you know, these two wires right here, so it's a little bit tight. You will have watched this video first and made yours a little bit more to the outside, and if not, you can take an awl and just kind of squeeze. You see that? Now I got an air pocket that I can coil. So I'm going to coil that before I do the other side. So I'm going to get 28 gauge. I'm going to anchor my wire. Anchor it and just get up in here between those two wires. Take a leading 1 inch, maybe 2 if you intend to tie a bead ball or something. It's nice to have it up there. And now just coil these 2 wires down to here. So hold on to the fragment, the 1 inch fragment. Hold on to the neck of your pendant. Okay, and just keep wrapping. You're pushing each coil back. I'm wrapping 2 frame wires here, so the coil will be thick. I don't need to get it super tight. I just need to get it nice and neat next to each other so that there's no bubbles, there's no traveling coils, you know. Okay. By traveling coils, I mean, you know, ones that are too stretched out. It's not super tight because I want the bulk of both those frame wires inside this coil. I like that look. So just make them neat side by side. Okay, so once you start to approach the end here, it's going to get a little bit close and tight. Just keep working until, you know, I like to go until the crisscross here. I like to leave the tip a little bit bare, but you can wrap a few single coils if you want to. Whoop. Either on the top or on the bottom. frame wire to lock this down when we get here. I try to get every coil that I can. That's about the one. So I have a convenient little space again back here. I can just take my tie wire and go neatly around this center bar a couple of times. Trim it off and tuck it. So if you're asking, could I have just used a longer wire and jumped over? Absolutely. And I'm going to trim off this upper one and tuck it into that armpit right there. You can add a bead ball up here with that if you want to. I'm just going to use that and push the cut into that shoulder and barely making any taps, just to tuck it in there. Okay, so cute. And now we'll do the other side. But I have to make some space, so I'm going to come down here to where there is space. The two outside wires are the ones that I want, so this inside one is the one that's tight. I'm just going to snuggle up. All I did was just press my plier head in there. You know, it pushes this way, so it opened it up slightly for me. You can see it a little bit. Work with a real slim bit. And since I'm coiling these, I'm not so worried about nicking them as I am about really pop, you know, if you make a big gouge, sometimes they break. It's only 20 gauge. So you see I'm just whittling a little bit of space, protecting my gemstone. I had to do that, but you will have made, you know, when you came with the first wire up the gemstone, you will give yourself a 1 millimeter right there. Okay, so I'll take another length of 28 gauge, it's 1.5 feet. Probably just need a foot. And same thing, just repeat. You can anchor up here at the shoulder. If you feel like you need to tie anything here, give yourself a few inches, and then you can do that at the end. Just hold on to the fragment, get right into your shoulder, and start your coil. And just coil until you're happy with yours. I like to try to get all the way down there and meet the other one. And that's it, you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial and this little series on small stones and mini pendants. I'm just going to do 2 or 3 more right there. So cute. And then I'll just secure it to the back. If you liked this video and you liked making one of these, please do me the huge favor of hitting the like button and leaving a comment. And I will see you again for the next one. You can find a place to tuck it, or you can make a couple of single wraps and then just end it. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Just fiddle your pendant until you love it. Put your pendant on the mat and level it. Press the belly. Press your little wings, make sure your bale is up in center and that it sits nice. And there, it should lay pretty nice. Add your favorite tiny 1mm ball chain or whatever favorite chain you have, and enjoy.